I'm not trying to be mean to a baby, but let's be honest. There is a 0% chance this child turns out normal.
That's the opening clip right there.
I'm not trying to be mean to a baby, but let's get
be
real
honest.
Welcome to Drafted. I'm your host, Daniel Prentice, and as always, I am joined by my dear, wonderful, amazing, talented friend and co-host, Preston Thompson. Preston, how are you doing this week, man?
Keep those adjectives rolling, baby. I love it. This is the kind of affirmation I need.
Right from the top of the dome.
Yeah,
that's what I'm here for, man.
I'm doing great, Dan. I'm drinking, again, a Urban Tree Atlanta United cider in honor of us being up 2-1 right now as we speak against Nashville. Go Five Stripes.
You are dating the recording of this very explicitly right now.
Do we want people to think they're listening to it live somehow?
No, I don't know.
They're listening to it live at their 6 a.m. commute.
I like there
work.
to be an air of mystery. Like, oh, when did they record this? You know,
we recorded this episode in 2004. It's we're in the first Bush term. Things are bad.
My voice
will get worse.
My voice has not changed in 16 years.
I would buy that. I would buy that Prentice walked out of the womb with a top hat and a cane. He's like, hello, my baby. Hello, my darling. Hello, my ragtime gal.
I wish I had that frog's voice. What a voice. I mean, I would be a multimillionaire just from my voice. That voice you just heard, you probably recognize. He is one of our most recurring guests because you people just can't seem to get enough of him. It's Patrick Stegemoeller. Pat, how are you doing, man? What are you drinking tonight?
It's been a long week, Daniel.
Yeah.
And it's only Wednesday, as we've identified.
Oh, yeah.
It's been long weeks just across the board lately.
What is that? Oh, God.
Boy.
He's pouring some sort of brown liquid into a glass.
A shot glass, to be specific.
Oh, and he's throwing it back. Oh, wow. That was the least amount of reaction I think I've ever seen.
I've lived many lives in the 3 days that is this week thus far.
Oh, there was some negative reaction.
Yeah, there was a little bit of a head shake.
What was that, Pat?
That was some Four Roses bourbon.
Oh, absolutely.
Are you just gonna keep
straight bourbon whiskey?
You're gonna keep slugging them back as we record?
We'll see how it goes. This is a crazy topic we're doing.
It's true. I kind of wish I was able to drink more. Yeah.
Before we go into it, there's something I want to ask you guys, just because you're the first people I've spoken to since this happened to me. So I kind of want your opinion on it.
Okay.
I was driving home after helping my aunt and uncle with some things they needed help with. And I was driving on the interstate and was like going over the speed limit. So like not going slow. But the person behind me was tailgating, so clearly wanted to pass me. And once I felt like I had a good opportunity, like I was far enough in front of the car to my right that I was passing, was going to get in, going to merge back into the right lane as one is supposed to do after passing on the highway.
Sure.
But the person behind me who had been tailgating was so eager to pass me, I guess they did not wait and also went before me, and because they're going
the diagonal maneuver.
Yeah, I was like, oh shit, I need to get back. And then as he passes me, he just out the side of his, he has his window down, does not look at me, just keeps his head stone cold forward, but has his thumb out, hand and thumb in my direction as he's passing.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think he was intended to communicate? Because it's one of two options. It was either a very sarcastic thumbs up, like you can't fucking drive, idiot, or thanks for letting me do this, and I appreciate you not seeing that I was doing the wrong thing and not getting in an accident with me. Yeah.
Oh, I think that he was 100% gaslighting you into thinking that interaction that you had was we both were into this,
we both won.
We were on the same team here.
No, I think he was saying, stick this where the sun don't shine, that kind of thing.
That would be my guess as well. But I found it weird he did not look at me, because I feel like if he wanted to be an asshole, he would have looked at me and then, made some sort of antagonistic.
I mean, clearly this man just really cares about the rules of the road,
But he doesn't.
Straight ahead.
Oh, maybe
focused.
Yeah. I mean, he wasn't really obeying any of the other ones, but
I mean,
that's what we call a joke, folks.
Dan, what you have to do here is you have to wait until he makes that decision, or you watch him in the rearview mirror. You wait till his facial expression changes. Just I'm going to go around this guy. And then you put on the signal and you very slowly get over so that you both get over at the same time.
Just keep blocking him.
He's very mad at that point. And then it's fun.
Yeah.
And then it's like a fun thing you're doing.
What were the driver's ed videos that you guys had to watch like?
Oh,
I don't remember.
Traumatic. Truly traumatic.
Did you have the one with the priest and the crossbow?
What?
I feel
Or was
like
that
I
just,
would
a
remember
New
that.
York thing. It
No,
was like
Not seen this one.
like a priest gets like rear-ended and then like pulls a crossbow out of his trunk and like shoots a guy in the leg.
It's supposed to
And it's
teach you
just
about,
like it's just
road
like you never know who's gonna have road rage.
rage. You
I
never
think
know
is the
who's
idea.
packing heat.
You never know when a man of the cloth has a 16th
packing a-
century crossbow.
You never know when a man of the cloth is transporting an artifact from one chapel to
Right.
his church to be displayed.
This show's off to a great
It has to be
start
more
right now.
obscure. It has to be more obscure than that. It has to be like
I think you
best
just no. I think it
best
has to
plates.
be incredibly normcore. I think you have to just draft letters with him.
letters.
Oh, that's a Pat Stegemoeller original. That was you sent us
That's
that
true.
very early on in season 1. Like, let me know when I can come back for the letters draft.
That one was sincere. The
we
draft
did do
I
it.
pitched you tonight was a joke, but we're doing
Oh,
this.
we
one
did do the
anyways.
letters draft.
Yeah, we did it live
We did the
on
letters draft.
on Twitch.
Oh yeah.
Follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/dap_sauce for all the good content over there. But yeah, I mean we've touched on it a few times now. So Preston, what are we drafting with Pat tonight?
This is going to be rough. I have very many questions before we start about how to like avoid complete disaster.
Mhm.
Tonight we are drafting names, first names, to make the worst family.
I think
Specifically
most
children.
most
Most obnoxious family.
Specifically for a family photo.
family photo. Oh, I
Right?
wasn't thinking that at all. I
Like
was
you're
thinking
looking
just
at the picture and you're seeing like those are the names of the people, and you're like, fuck these people.
You're constructing the narrative in your mind. Okay, yeah. No, that makes sense.
Like it has to be just like you know nothing about them other than like you're seeing a picture of them and you know their names.
Yeah.
That's the
Right.
information you have. And the names have to just create this welling up of emotion of just anger and disgust and hate to a degree where you win the draft by evoking such a emotional response.
Here's my question. This is my biggest question. How is Preston going to come up with a graphic for this?
Jesus.
Oh, yes. Correct.
Oh no. Oh no. This is a great point. I'm just going to have to make a lot of inferences. I'm going to have to fill a lot of narrative gaps.
Yeah.
I think
That's
it'll
what
work.
I'm most looking forward to. This episode could be an absolute disaster, but I'm really just looking forward to seeing what Preston does with the graphic.
What I will do on the graphic is I will face my fear that I'm having with this draft. And when someone takes a name of a person I know from my life, I will use their photo as the photo for the graphic.
Please
Is
do
this
that.
a bad idea?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
I specifically avoided taking names of people that I have like met in person. There still are a couple because they were
I
too
have several
big to
names of
avoid.
people I've met on
Oh
my
God.
on my list.
Oh Jesus. All right. Well,
Listen.
I think we just start and we feel our way out of the this is too mean zone as we go.
Just don't be mean. It's not mean to make fun of a name. You're not making fun of a person, you know? And before we go any further, if we have any other questions, let me first reveal the draft order. Pat is going to have the first selection.
Oh, let's
Oh, wow.
go.
It's gonna set
Preston.
the tone.
Yeah, Preston number 2, and then myself third. Of course, an even round snake style, so reverse order for the even rounds. And as always, this draft order determined by our best friends over at random.org. By the way, I also need to say what I'm drinking because I always forget to do that. I am drinking a White Zombie White Ale by Catawba Brewing Co. It's quite good, I have to say.
Ooh, you finally got off your Moscow Mule train.
Yes, that's true. That is true.
I do love the subplot of season 3 being that Daniel's roommates are just like think he fucking loves Moscow Mules and like won't stop getting him Moscow Mule stuff, and that becomes
He's
like
gonna get
his
like
whole-
merch.
becomes
and a
his whole
t-shirt.
personality.
He's the Moscow Mule guy. He
Right,
loves
yeah.
Moscow Mules. I mean, listen, I do really like Moscow Mules. Don't get me wrong. But I'm not like a diehard Moscow Mule stan, which I think is maybe the impression I made. You know what I mean?
Well, let's keep it going.
Okay. We'll do that.
Okay, couple quick questions about the parameters here.
Yes.
Mhm.
So it's the top 250 baby name list.
Yeah,
Right.
we used an online list from babynames.com and we sorted by popularity and took the top 250-ish.
From 2021. So the most popular baby name is
Correct.
2021.
Correct.
And we each get one celebrity baby name, right?
Yes. You can
Correct.
draft it at any point
Okay.
strategically.
I have 2 S tier celebrity baby names.
Oh, okay.
So we'll see how this pans out. The question is when you have to draft it.
Did you guys see your names in the top 250? I'm assuming you did,
Yeah.
Daniel.
100%. I think I was like
Patrick.
16 and
I
16
did not
and
see
boys.
it there. I might have missed it because there was
I did not see
a
mine
lot of
there
names.
either.
I don't think I
Yeah.
saw a Patrick or a Preston.
Yeah. I kind of like it. I'm unique.
That means that means when you're old, you're gonna have an old person's name.
It's true. I'm the Hubert.
Yeah, yeah. You and the Justins, and everyone's gonna be like, man, Justin's such an old man's name.
It's so strange to think about what the old person names of our generation are going to be.
Mhm.
Oof, you're right. We're probably going to draft some of them tonight.
We're also going to start seeing a lot of old tattoos. You know,
That's
think about
A
that.
lot of old tattoos.
A lot of old
That's
tattoos
fine.
coming down the pipe.
I got respect for it. You only get one of these bodies, right? We think.
as best we know.
Where are
As
we
best
at
we
on
can tell.
cloning solely so that you can harvest like the organs of your clone to live forever?
Like, where are we
Soon.
at scientifically or morally?
Morally. Scientifically, we're I'm assuming like not that close, but like close enough to start asking the question.
Morally, I'm pretty opposed.
Okay.
Wow. Have we seen the Prestige? Like, do we really know which one is the real you at that point?
Well, see, I was going to bring
Well,
up
the real me
movie
is the one
Moon.
that's not missing a bunch of organs.
That's fair.
Have you guys seen Moon with
Yeah, Sam Rockwell.
Sam Rockwell? Thank you. Yes, great movie.
Why don't you just clone yourself a bunch of times and then you do a 40-yard dash and the fastest one goes, and then you do it again and you keep
Goes?
going and you basically simulate the fastest one, like continues life.
So you're just trying to unnaturally
You like
select
speed run Darwinism.
the
Yeah.
fastest version of yourself, but only
Darwinism
based on
speedrun.
pure running speed.
That's not how cloning is not. All right, let's get to. I can't believe I am the adult in the room right now. Supposed to keep us on track.
Tell me how cloning works. I'm confused.
Why are we talking about this? How did this even come
I
up?
don't know. You just brought it up. You got to be nice to our guests, Dan.
Oh yeah, Pat did bring it up. And I was trying to act like the big man by steering us back on track.
Yeah, he's like, wait a second, these idiots. What are they talking about?
All right, let's save the clone talk for the second half of the show. Let's get to the draft. Pat, you have the first pick in the most obnoxious family childhood baby name draft.
We're gonna come up with a better working title for that.
I don't think there is one.
So I think that there are more bad female names.
Ooh,
So really, I'm on
that's
the
interesting.
exact opposite of you.
Sorry.
I agree.
I think there are more valuable bad female names, but because there's more, the opposite of what I said.
I see.
There's
Scarcity.
there's more.
Oh
right,
yeah, we're
right.
not saying you don't have to take any female names though, do you?
No, you
Oh,
can take
good
any.
question.
Any.
Is this a 3-3 split?
No.
Is it
No.
just
No.
whatever you want?
Because
Whatever you
my
want.
impression was I think it's most obnoxious to have 6 boys.
Ooh.
Not to give.
I
any
think that's a
drafting strategy
strategic
away.
decision, though. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a
not to give any
strategic choice.
strategy away.
Hmm.
That's where my head's at though.
We never talked about it, but I was assuming a 3-3 split for some reason.
No.
It's like, but it's almost like you're sympathetic if they have 6 boys a little bit. You're like,
No.
they didn't ask for this.
No, they did.
That's a
because
good
they
point.
could have stopped after 3 and it would have been fine.
No, they're probably going for a girl.
They're
at
yeah.
that
Now
point.
they're like, well, it's got to come back. our way this
Listen.
time.
It's maybe it's just on the cards. You don't keep trying and hoping. You know, if you bust,
You hear
you
that?
don't
You
buy
hear that,
back
folks
in
at home?
again.
Don't try and hope. That's
It's
the
true.
message of drafting.
Give
That's-
up before you have a
Listen.
chance to fail.
Don't try and give up hope has been the Daniel mantra for several years now.
In any event, the name that I will be taking first
Oh boy.
is Paisley for a girl.
Yeah, that one was on my list as well.
The conceit of this just came running into me like a train. This is such a weird idea, but it's a great pick. I'm still selling myself on really putting all this together.
Paisley.
The 52nd most popular girl's name in the United States in 2021.
That can't be true. 52nd most. Oh my god.
That seems
Oh my
high.
god.
That's not good.
It's
like how many kids went to your high school? You know?
There were like a little shade under 2,000 kids in my high school.
So there's
Same.
probably a Paisley at that high school now, given those numbers.
Several, it would seem.
Well, these were baby names last year, so I don't.
But I'm saying like at that
You didn't go to
version
a
of
high
your
school for babies?
No, I did not. I did not. Yeah, I mean, it was on my list. I feel like we're gonna have to wait till we break down these picks until we've made a few. How do we?
We're kind of discovering it on the way here. That's what's exciting about
I think
it.
we're going to discover things about ourselves and how
I hope not.
The ways in which we're judgmental of people.
Yeah. So I'll cede the floor now. That was my first pick, Paisley, getting out of the way.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it was on my list, so I think it's a very fine pick. I really had a hard time kind of like ranking these. It was on the lower end of my list, but I mean, I can see why you would have it higher.
Because it's a tie design.
Yeah. I mean, it's
and now you're naming a human person.
I know names that are things.
Names that are things
bad.
not good.
Yeah,
not good.
Generally,
you're
generally
naming
not
a human person after a tie that a man who's like talking himself into trying to cheat on his wife on a business trip would wear.
Mm-hmm. That's the kind of energy you want in this family.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a perfect summary. We need not say more. Preston, what is your first pick?
I'm going to go with the clear number one choice to me on celebrity names and regular baby names. It is, to me, the most obnoxious thing I've ever heard, which is, now I had to look up the pronunciation here for reasons that will become clear.
I know exactly what this pick is.
It's Xash12.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, how you pronounce Elon Musk's child's name.
That's what I saw.
Is anyone really sure? I mean, he committed an act of cruelty here. And I think through no fault of this child, they will grow up to be trash. It's not their fault, but it will happen.
This was a question mark for me because I remember when this became a story because Elon Musk, that's how I say his name. I say Elon Musk and then let out
a deep sigh.
Tweeted that was the name of his new child.
Right.
But then all the reports were that you cannot name your child that in the state of California because numbers and special characters are not allowed. So did the kid actually end up being named this? I genuinely don't know.
I think we count it.
I think we should count it too. I think
the kid is still being referred to as this as of news articles.
Right. And again, if you think about it, like in their family portrait or whatever, like that's going to be the
what
name,
would they put? Yeah,
right?
Exactly. I had to copy this over from a Washington Post article because I couldn't figure out how to get the special character into Google Docs.
So that's your
that's
your
how
celeb,
obnoxious
that's your
this
celeb
name
pick.
is.
That's your
Yes, it
celeb
is.
pick gone. Okay, got it.
I am a little surprised this didn't go number one. I think it is the most obnoxious name I've ever seen out of context. Like, I think the context of names can change if you're building like a whole family dynamic around them. And I think it might be more difficult to build a family dynamic around this name that's obnoxious. But single standalone name, most obnoxious name I've ever seen in my entire life.
I agree. And it's a cruel thing to do to a person. I mean, just honestly.
But doesn't that engender a little sympathy?
No.
I mean, for the kid, for the kid,
For the kid, yes. For the parents, no.
Like, I want to be looking at this and I want to hate all
the children.
of them.
Right,
You know
but
what
by
I mean?
the time the kid is old enough to have agency over the decisions, I can't remember the gender of this child, but by the time the child is old enough to have agency over their own decisions, they will be making bad ones. That is the assumption I'm making here. I'm not trying to be mean to a baby, but let's be honest, there is a 0% chance this child turns out normal.
That's the opening clip right there.
I'm not trying to be mean to a baby, but let's get be honest. Here. Grow the fuck up, guys.
You know, I mean, what do you think that kid goes by? They call
Ash.
him X. I think he's referred to as
X. X makes sense. I mean, the
symbol
kid, that's in the middle. The symbol that's in the middle is pronounced as Ash, I think.
Is it? So in my reading, it seems that Elon Musk pronounced it that way.
Yeah,
but that it's not called that.
Watch him rewrite the internet so that it actually is pronounced that, and you've been wrong this whole time.
Yeah, I mean, I just think it's a good pick. I genuinely get furious thinking about this name and thinking about the existence of Elon Musk. So for that alone, I think it's a great first pick. All right. My picks are kind of a tandem here, so I'm gonna take them rapid fire back to
Back to back. Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
if you're
these
blowing
twins?
up my spot here, I'm gonna be really upset. 'cause
These-
I think
these-
we
these are-
maybe are on the same page.
these are not twins necessarily. I think it might be better if they're not twins personally, but I am taking Jackson JXON and
Oh, God.
Jackson JAXSON back to back.
Those are
That's
great
so
picks for an
good.
audio medium.
It's so
Well, hey,
good.
And the graphic, yeah, they'll both be clearly different. But yeah, I have two Jacksons, both spelled differently as my top two picks. Jackson JXON, 55th most popular boy's name last year. XSON, 101st most popular name. Jackson spelled the correct way, nowhere to be seen.
The intentional misspellings was a hot category for me to pull from on this list. So I definitely had the one with the S in it. I definitely had that on here.
I'm so concerned for our future.
It's a great tandem pick though, because
Thank you.
the fact that a family would have chosen both of those is really frustrating.
You imagine the nightmare of being those kids?
Jackson's always trying to live up to Jackson's shadow.
They would have.
Jackson, pick up your room.
They're like, I'm not a person. I am
Not real. I'm just a
Wow.
shadow.
Well, I was a little hesitant about this idea for the draft, but I feel like we're
If
ramping up into a good place.
you had to pick one to name your firstborn, which of these two are you choosing?
With the knowledge that I'm naming the second one the other, or just
No.
like what's the proper order?
No,
for this?
just one child, just one
No,
child.
just one
You're
child.
naming one child Jackson, but it has to be one of these two spellings. Which one are you picking?
Definitely picking the one without the S. But I hate it.
I'm
I
going
don't
with
like it.
I'm going with the S.
Okay.
Oof.
Mm.
I
S
hate
did
them
go
both.
very high in the letter draft. It
I
definitely
hate them
did.
both so much. I don't think I could choose. I think it has to be a full split decision here.
That's fine. I
They're
think that's
both
appropriate.
awful. They're both
They're both
absolutely
so
awful. Sorry to any Jacksons who spell their name that way listening.
We gotta cut that shit out right now. No apologies for the rest of the draft.
Okay,
Like,
fair.
if you have one of these names, that's a tough beat,
Consider changing.
and we'll get to it afterwards. But for now,
listen.
we just have to point true north and
The DMs are open.
carry on. Yeah.
Just come at us. We'll settle this in the internet streets.
Yeah. All right, Preston, you are up.
Okay. I have two S tier choices. They're both still there. I think I'm going to stick with my gut. I'm going to go with one that is actually, I think, fairly popular amongst our generation too, because I've met quite a few people who are named this and then choose not to go by it, which is Xander with an X. I think there's a chance I can get 6 names that all start with X.
Whoa.
And we can be X-Men. But no, I'm definitely not going to do that. But Xander's, if you are named Alexander and you choose to go by Xander, I have no sympathy for you. Like you had it and you lost it.
What are we revealing about ourselves in this exercise?
I hope the person I know that is in that situation does not listen to the show.
What's
I've never wanted fewer listeners on an episode than I do right now.
What's worse, an Alexander who goes by Xander or a Christopher who goes by Topher?
Topher.
I just threw up a little bit.
Topher is worse.
I think the
I think so
Topher
too.
one's probably worse.
Just say it out loud with your mouth noises. Topher.
It's pretty bad, yeah.
All right, I'm next. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna lock up the other S tier female name that I had on my list.
Okay.
Now, Brooklyn is a bad name, objectively,
Yeah.
especially for a white female child.
Yeah, it's a very celebrity child name.
Yes.
But you know what's way worse that
Tell
was
me.
on this list and made me question whether this was a real list or like like a kind of a deep, long form joke about bad baby names is Oakland. OAKLYNN.
Oh no.
Oakland.
I somehow missed this on the list. I definitely missed this on the list. Awful name.
So bad.
Anything, honestly, any name that has a Y in it. There's going to be a lot of Y's, I think.
Yeah.
A lot of Y's and X's.
Is it a portmanteau of Oakland and Brooklyn?
Maybe. I think it's just not a name.
It's just not a name.
It's just not a
could just not be a name.
Even it's trying to achieve non-nameness in some sort of hip, interesting way, but falls so far short that it's almost generic in how much it's not a name, and that is infuriating.
Well, clearly it's generic because it's one of the top 300 names or whatever, apparently. Yeah. So
that's the real crime here, is that everybody that chose one of these names was trying to be unique, and they still chose something this bad and ended up in the top 250.
It's hipsters, right? I mean, it's hipsters to a T, but now they're having children.
Yeah, but they're all choosing the same thing, which seems very not in their whole shtick.
Well, that's the thing about hipsters.
Preston, that's the whole shtick.
Yeah, that's the whole thing.
What are you talking about? I don't understand. I thought they were supposed to be unique and colorful, like perks of being a wallflower or something.
No, this party is in like an old warehouse. No one's ever done it before. Okay. Next up, I'm going with my first male name. And honestly, I could not tell that this was going to be male or female on the list. I think it's worse that it's male.
Okay.
Cairo with a K.
Like Kairo?
Yes.
Like pyro?
No, like the capital of Egypt, Cairo.
Oh.
Which is already a terrible name for a person.
No.
But with a K.
Yeah.
Oh.
This is another very common trope, which is replacing, just taking a somewhat normal name. Cairo is not a normal name. Cairo is not a normal name, but taking what should be a C and just making it a K. That's like a very.
And I'm sort of
trope.
imagining in the way that the family is structured here, that this is like the firstborn son, and the parents were kind of like, we want to give him a name of kings, we want to give him a name of pharaohs, but K's are cooler than C's.
Copyright law. We're forced to go a different direction.
So it's both sort of like, it's like this classic clean lines, antiquity, just getting out of the way of just a beautiful sounding word, but also but let's throw a K on it. Yeah.
They're envisioning a brand. Some sort of merch to come out of this.
You are firstborn son. Will lead this family to great new horizons.
You're doing a disservice. It's coming around on me now. I like it. keep that one in the back pocket.
Cairo Thompson.
It'd be pretty cool. We actually have
kind of into that a little bit.
We have
a C. If it was a C, it's forgivable.
We have a Cairo here in Georgia,
but it's Cairo.
So it makes me wonder if the name you just took is actually Cairo.
Yeah.
Is that better or worse?
Worse.
Okay, so it's bad in both situations. That's fine. Patrick, I think you're up again.
No, that was the second pick.
Wait, never mind.
Oakland and Cairo.
Oakland, Cairo, yeah.
That's right.
Weird bastardizations of places.
All right. I'm going to take...
Yeah. I like the theming there, Pat.
I can't believe this fell this far to me. It's honestly a crime. I'm going to take one of the worst names you could give a young person. Truly despicable.
Okay.
I'm going to take Daniel. I'm just kidding. That'd be cruel.
Stick to your guns. Because imagine if you win the draft, what this will do.
Yeah,
it's true. The show's over. We can't do it
I also think you could sell like having 5 absurd names and having one normal name.
Yeah,
as being the most obnoxious.
It's like
being Chad, born right after X.
It's like they're trying. It's like they're trying out athleisure, but with a baby name. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Exactly.
That's exactly right. Okay. No, my real choice here. It's just it's perfect. And when I saw that this was in the top 250, I both cried and laughed. Legend.
I missed that one too. Damn.
You are putting you were putting some sort of personality and expectation on this person when you name them Legend.
Yeah. I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
I feel like it fits with my vibe. Legend and Xander are playing in the backyard while Xasher 12 is helping mom make dinner.
Legend and Xasher 12 definitely seem like they came from the same brood.
Why is brood such a funny word in that context? That one really tickled me. Okay. Legend. What a name. Okay. I think with the final pick of the third round, I think this was honestly one of the first names I thought of before I even looked at a list and just kind of hoped this name would be on the list. And it just snuck into the top 150 most popular boys names at 146. And it complements my first two names as well. That is Braxton.
Oh God. You have Jackson, and Braxton.
Wasn't that a sitcom on UPN in 1996?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Mm-hmm.
It's so good.
So
okay, you've done a number here.
Yeah, I've really hit on a theme with my first two picks. I feel great about it. And this feels like
I feel like I've met this family before. You know what I mean? I feel like I met them when I accidentally wandered into a Little League baseball game and got into a fight with the overweight third base coach. I feel like he told Braxton and Jackson to get back.
Always a horrible decision to have your kids' names all end in the same sort of elongated noise, because if you're yelling like Braxton,
I mean, it doesn't even matter if you enunciate very clearly, because two of my children have the exact same name. So that doesn't even really matter that much.
No, it's different. One is Jackson.
All right. Okay.
The other is Jackson.
Oh.
Jackson and Jackson.
Yes,
you see it? It's small, but do you see it? Okay, good.
Collage. Do you think that Jackson and Jackson are going to have to fight to the death when they become 18 because only one can rule the family?
Interesting.
They're
and then it turns out it was actually destined to be Braxton the whole time.
Right, like a Elizabeth Olsen type situation.
Oh, wow!
Jesus, that got dark. That got really dark. I like that. That brings
what
us
is
to halfway.
happening on this show
I don't know.
right now?
I think we need to take a break. It's the halfway point. We need to take a break, recollect ourselves, and be back for the second half of the draft. Okay, Preston, what are we drafting tonight?
Dan, we are drafting the best ways to support the Drafted Podcast. You've got first overall pick. What are you taking?
I have the number one pick. Wow. I mean, what a draft of the number one pick for. This is a no-brainer, Preston. I'm taking the Drafted Patreon. There's no better way to support the show, as you well know.
Yeah, it was clearly the top of my board. It's such a great pick.
Yeah, I mean, you can support us for as little as $3 a month. You get secret access to levels of the Drafted Discord, where you get access just to me and Preston and the other subscribers and VIPs of the show. Mm-hmm. You also get to listen to episodes without this annoying commercial or any other commercial breaks in it, and you get the unedited cut of the pod as well. So, I mean, there really is no better way, both for us and for the listeners, to support the show.
Yeah, if you think we mess up on the cut you hear, just wait until you get the actual unedited version. It's a good first pick, Dan. For the second pick, I'm going to take rating us 5 stars on iTunes. Very helpful. Yeah. And for my third pick there, I'll say following us on all of our channels, Twitter, Instagram, everything we've got. And I think draft is over, so we'll do my team versus your team.
Yeah, I mean, we got to send it to Twitter, but hey, maybe your vote will count extra too if you support us on Patreon.
I clearly won.
Okay, just a quick recap before I make my first pick of the fourth round. So far, Pat has Paisley, Oakland, and Cairo. And
with a K.
With a K. How is this one set? X Ash A12 Preston has, along with Xander and Legend, and then I have Jackson, and Braxton.
Daniel, you're running away with this shit. If you could just stick the landing, it's gonna be a wash.
I'm starting to run out of names that fit it, unfortunately.
Well, now you just need. I think you need 3 girls to all have. You need like Anna Lee, Mary Lee, and Susie Lee, or something like that.
Yeah. No, I don't have that lined up, unfortunately.
Okay.
I think I'm just gonna go with my other S tier name. And I am shocked and appalled that this one is as high on the list as it is in terms of popularity. And I'm sad to say I'm divulging from my current theme right now, but I think it's too much of a strong pick that I have to take it. And that is Maverick, the 47th most popular boy's name in 2021. Maverick.
And Top Gun 2 hasn't even come out yet.
I know. I was trying to figure out how this timed up with Top Gun, and
maybe it was supposed to come out.
I think it's a John McCain. I think it's a John McCain name.
Oh, really? That seems bad.
So I was going to take this if we were doing the full family as like the patriarch of the family, like a shitty
Papa Maverick,
like finance bro named Maverick who's popping out kids named Paisley, and I like it. That was going to be my play here. But I think Maverick also works as like a horrible child.
It's flexible.
Where are we at on nominative determinism? Like, you think like what you're named? Maybe this is a big question for the end. Let's save this for Let's save this for the end.
That's a good end question. For now, Preston, what's your 4th pick of the draft?
I'm going to stick with the theme of Legend. And I'm going to take another high weight of expectation. Again, I just can't believe this is in the top 250. There's so many words in the English language to choose from, guys. It's a biblical name. They're very popular, right? Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John.
I think I know where you're coming from.
Have we ever met a Genesis?
Genesis Rodriguez is an actress.
Really?
Yeah.
Does she go by Genesis? Does she go by like Jenny?
Yeah.
I think this is the out here is you could go by Jenny. Yeah. With a G though.
Yeah.
You can reasonably do it with a J.
Is this the
now
thought?
You're just Genny.
Is this the name you thought he was going with? Ben?
No, but I'll hold on to that one for later.
Ooh.
Which I think could have even been
Deuteronomy.
Slightly more on theme.
I'm picking my last name is Revelations.
Yeah, my parents did biblical names and I got numbers.
I got Timothy 2.
It's not cool.
And my older brother got Timothy 1.
Okay, for my next pick, so I've got the snake here. I've got the wraparound.
Yeah.
And this is what I thought Preston was gonna. Sorry, this is what I thought Daniel was gonna do with his wraparound.
Mm-hmm.
Now you went in a different direction, and I applaud you for the direction you did go in. But here's where I'm going. I'm gonna take 2 boys' names.
I know what they are. I think
Easton.
Really? Oh, I don't.
And Weston.
The thing about this is I can almost guarantee you there are 0 families that have Jackson and Jackson in them, but I can equally guarantee you that there are families that have Easton and Weston in them. 100%.
Absolutely.
100%.
Which one do you think comes first? You name a kid Weston, and then you're like,
no, Easton.
Might as well go for the pair.
Easton's first.
You go Easton first, like you're trying to be like edgy, and then you're kind of like,
no,
I don't have any other good ideas.
No, families that have an Easton and a Weston know they're going to have an Easton and a Weston before they have an Easton.
Okay,
it's like it's in the plan. Like we're gonna have 2 boys at least, and they're gonna be named Easton and Weston.
So it's like, Mommy, why did you decide to have me? And you're like, well, we were pot committed once we named one kid Easton. So
100 exactly. I mean, that's 100% how it goes in my mind.
I think it's hilarious. You can imagine just like they're gonna like dress them like opposites or whatever, like And also it kind of fits a little bit with like Oakland and Cairo of like
It's just the geographic
it's a
names.
theme that is vague enough to be infuriating.
Yeah.
Right? It's like you didn't quite it's like almost art, but in like a really bad way.
Yeah.
Okay. The pairs you guys have taken here have just been, you're knocking it out of the park. Okay.
And I did have Weston just like on its own as a great choice.
That's a person I know in the real world, and Weston, fuck you, dog, if you're listening to this.
Wow.
Is he a fuckboy or a trash?
Definitely more of a fuckboy.
Fuckboy.
Yeah.
It's a very fuckboy name, I gotta be honest.
Yeah, dude, I went to high school with named Weston. Fucking sucked.
All right.
He did score a sick free kick once though. For our soccer team.
I should have known he played soccer.
Dude, went under the wall.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was pretty crisp.
That's sick. Let's not give Weston any credit though.
Yeah, you're right. All right, moving on from Weston
Preston.
forever.
Yeah. Preston, your penultimate pick.
Yeah, I'm staying on brand with this family. This family's on a one-track mind. I have Legend.
Mm-hmm.
I have Genesis.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm taking King.
Now, there are cultural contexts where
Yes.
that might be an appropriate name.
Correct.
But in this
to be fair,
family-
I'm imagining a backwards hat, beer chugging, Sigma Chi guy. I'm imagining his name is King.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a toughie.
it's bad.
Is King the first kid or the last? Or like, when do you decide on King? I mean, this family's so.
Oh, this
It's wild.
Yeah.
You keep saying there's a theme for your family, but your family is all over the place. I think more
I
so
think
than any of the others.
I think the theme is, the theme is bad choices.
It's hard to form a theme around X-A12.
It's true. Maybe that was not a great headliner to start me off.
I think it's a theme of like going for it with a name.
Yes. Everyone's trying to live in X-A12.
And Xander probably is like Xander was like short for Alexander the Great. I'm gonna guess in this family.
Yes, that's absolutely right.
But they were like, but we're gonna go with Xander because we're gonna try this hat on.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy, you can just name babies whatever you want. Anyways, sorry.
That's true.
Moving on.
Even numbers, not legally.
Not
but you can
legally.
do it.
Yeah, you can try. I can't wait to get to the part of the show where we ask like what things did you want to pick that you ran out of room for, because there's
so much crazy stuff. Yeah.
I think I'll take it doesn't matter. I have back-to-back picks here to wrap up my team. I think I'm going to go with my celebrity name here. And I think in isolation, there are worse celebrity names than this. And I actually don't know if this is a celebrity baby name for a boy or girl, but I am going to say it's my token girl of the family, because it could be either. It's Cadence, spelled Kaydnz, and this is.
There's no way that
cannot be on the list.
That is not on the list.
No. It's T-Pain's child. It's my celebrity baby.
Celebrity, right?
Celebrity baby name.
Right.
Cadence.
Again, spelling. Spelling is critical here.
Yes.
Kaydnz.
Wait, DNZ or DENZ?
DNZ. There is no.
No.
E.
You can't just remove vowels.
T-Pain can do whatever the fuck he wants, Preston.
This is true.
Oh my god.
So yeah, Cadence, and then middle. I'm not including middle name here. I feel like a lot of the ridiculous celebrity names we see are like ridiculous because they have 18 middle names.
Right.
Middle name is just Coda here. Cadence Coda.
I don't mind Coda as a name.
It's Coda with an H at the end, which makes it a little more obnoxious in my opinion.
Bad.
But I'm just going Cadence.
What about
This
Coda
is clearly
Thompson?
Cadence and Coda.
How do you feel about Coda Thompson?
With or without an H?
Without just CODA.
I don't like it, but it's not awful. It's better than any name we've picked so far.
In many ways, that's the best my children are going to be able to hope for.
Preston, get votes by saying like, if you vote for me for this draft, I will name my
I will
firstborn
choose
child
my firstborn
Coda.
child from this list.
Yeah.
And you'll have to actually do it though,
Yeah.
or no one will respect you ever again.
That is going to be a second half of the show question is which of the names drafted would you be most likely to name your own child?
All right, Daniel, last one.
This is so tough. There's so many, like I just feel like I'm leaving so much value on the board no matter what I pick here, because there's so many horrible names left. I think I'm going to go. What do I do? I don't know what to pick. I'm gonna pick.
The nonsensical nature of this draft is staring you in the face right now. Just
yeah,
the absolute,
it's absolutely breaking my brain.
the total inability to grade our performance on any metric.
Yeah, it's really difficult. It's really
it's
tough.
really kind of dawning on you right now, isn't it?
It is. It really is. I'm gonna go with Declan. Because it kind of fits like just like the n as like the closing sound of all of my names. I don't know how better to express that. And it's also just like this one's like a little more common of a name, I feel like beyond 2021. But it's just a bad name. Have you ever met a Declan who you didn't immediately think you would hate with every fiber of your being? Because I have.
It seems English.
When Arsenal
isn't
buys
it a popular
when Arsenal
name?
buys Declan Rice this summer.
Yeah.
Oh fuck! I forgot about Declan Rice. What a piece of shit he is. Fuck that guy. I don't know. No one is gonna get this because no one listens to the show actually watches sports. But Declan Rice tried to get in a fight with Eddie Nketiah when West Ham played Arsenal most recently, and he's such a fucking phony, fake tough guy. I fucking hate his guts.
Yeah,
So
Declan Rice
must
was
have
the
been
first
part of
thing that
my
came to mind.
part of my brain when I thought of that.
You
So
were
yeah,
holding
perfect-
it subconsciously.
Perfect example of why Declan's fucking.
Declan is the name of a person who starts a fight but does not actually get involved in that fight.
Yeah, they don't want to
100%.
fight.
Mhm.
Yeah, you're right.
I bet the dude who got his ass kicked by Sons and Four guy, like, was maybe named Declan.
Maybe.
Very high chance, I think. Very high chance.
All right. So canonically, here's what happened in this family, if I may be so bold.
Mhm.
Mother is pregnant.
Again.
This is the first child.
Oh.
Mother is pregnant. Mother says, we're going to keep as much a surprise as possible. Somehow, they get into the delivery room. They've picked out a name. The name is Alexander. And they realize, oh God, we're having triplets. They're all boys. What do we do? The doctor needs a name right now. This is some weird future world where like they need a name immediately because people are getting their names tattooed on them. So like we need it now. We need it today. So she goes, okay, fine. Xander. Okay, that's one. What are you doing for the second one? X-ash a 12. a piece of some coffee.
That's like the epidural talking.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And then they're like, okay, weren't you going to do Alexander? And they say, fine, Axel. Axel will be the third child. And that's the canonical choice I'm making. I have Axel and Xander as some form of really messed up anagram. And then they have X-Ashe 12.
Xander?
Axel, Xander, X-Ashe 12.
I almost had I had Axel on my list. I was considering maybe just like really going for all X's in my names. Abandon that strategy though. But yeah, I mean, it's a bad name.
I really like I like the narrative you've constructed here.
Yeah.
Axel Xander. What about just Axel Xander as a name? About that.
It's a hyphen?
No hyphen.
Full name.
Axel
So it
Xander.
looks
Axel
like
Xander.
a typo. So it looks like a typo. Like every time this person types their name for their entire life, it
The
gets
system's
autocorrect.
like, are you sure?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
I do want to. I've never been present for a childbirth. Is the doctor the person you give the name to? Because I
Yes.
can't imagine that's right.
Yes, they say, hey, his feet are almost out. We need it We need it. What's it gonna
If
be?
the doctor pulls the baby out and just goes like, "Your name is Matthew,"
And that's when they know.
and that's how.
That's when they know.
Yeah.
Huh. You learn
Yeah.
something new every day. All right, so Preston wraps up his team by taking Axel. Pat, you have the last pick, but you have to go celebrity baby name here.
I do, and so I have two that I really like. I guess we'll get into the one I didn't pick later, but I'm gonna go with the one that I think fits my family portrait here a little bit. Okay, caveat: is Bear Grylls a celebrity?
I thought caveat was
100%.
Okay,
Yeah, absolutely a celebrity.
okay. Then in that case, the baby child, this miracle of love and life, brought forth into the world, crying for its first breaths, ready to take on all of the joys and hardships that weave into this tapestry we call life. And what Bear Grylls decided to name, to give like the characteristic of like the thing that you will take with you that will in many ways define you as you go on that journey.
I mean, his name is Bear Grylls. He would know. Yeah.
Marmaduke.
I don't understand. I don't understand how you could have a whole brand built around being named Bear Grylls and then name your child Marmaduke.
What do you call your kid named Marmaduke? Because I feel like a lot of absurd,
Marma.
ridiculous marm. Hey, that's awful.
What about
That's
Duke?
terrible. Duke, you could call him Duke.
Yeah, you call
I
him
think
Duke.
You probably
It's
call him
cool.
Duke. I think you probably call him Duke.
But imagine naming your baby after like a kind of shitty cartoon dog who's like old
insane.
and like
It's
I'm
freaking
like
insane.
I have bad behavior. I'm like an old dog and I can't learn new tricks.
Why do celebrities do this?
Because being a celebrity breaks your brain, and you're like,
It does break your
like I have
brain.
too much pressure on me. I can't just name my kid
A
you know,
normal name.
Mark. Yeah. And so I do think that in a way it also kind of fits into the general theme going on with this family better than my other pick, which we'll reveal after the break.
Also, I want to ponder this. Are we maybe being too hard on Bear here? Maybe Marmaduke is a family name because his name is Bear.
There is a 0% chance.
It takes a Marmaduke to name a bear, and it takes a bear to name a Marmaduke.
I'm just saying, I think it's a possibility.
It's not bad. Yeah.
All right. So Marmaduke is the final pick of the most obnoxious baby name draft. That makes the final teams for Pat: Paisley, Oakland, spelled Oaklynn, Cairo with a K, Easton and Weston, and Marmaduke. Preston has X, Ash, A12, Xander, Legend, Genesis, King, and Axel. And I end up with Jackson, Braxton, Maverick, Cadence, and Declan.
We have so much more to discuss. We'll do so after a quick break.
We might be unraveling the mysteries of the universe on this one. Or it's total garbage and you will never do another show.
Hey everybody, it's your favorite host here to ask you on behalf of the Appen Podcast Network, our parent network, to go check out some of their other shows. I'm partial to the Georgia Politics Podcast. I'm a host there every week. We play games at the end of every episode, trivia, great way to stay in touch with local issues going on here in Georgia, but we also touch on national things too. Would really appreciate if you come give us a listen. Check out everything the Appen Podcast Network has going on at appenmedia.com, APPENMEDIA.com.
Okay, we are back. And I know that I usually ask the questions in this segment, but Preston would like to take the floor here to get us started as we look back on the draft that just was. Preston, take it away.
I'm dying to ask this question of two people that know me and have known me, over the years a little bit at this point.
You're referring
You
to
guys are-
us, I
you
assume.
guys are
It'll
friends.
be our
Yes.
7th year anniversary in a couple of weeks when we
Wow,
met
is
for the
that
first
right?
time. Yeah.
Wow.
2015
nice.
College Nationals in Milwaukee.
That's so nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
so
came in in October of that year.
It's true.
To complete the throuple.
Yeah.
So I was very
We should get
close.
2015 tatted on our eyelids. 2-0 on one.
Yeah,
5
because
on the other.
otherwise it was a perfect
Yes.
year. Yeah. Nothing bad was happening to anyone. Okay. I was dangerously close. Dangerously is a strong word. I was very close to having a different name at birth.
Ooh, okay.
Very close. And I'm genuinely curious if you guys would like me better or worse with this other name.
Well, this is a big question.
So I know.
Yeah.
So I want you to close your eyes
Okay.
and I want you to imagine it's 2015. We're at Nationals. I'm walking up. I'm going to shake your hand. Good old Chuck, Charlie Eisenhood. He doesn't say, "Hey, I want you guys to meet Preston." He says, "I want you to meet Harrison." How do we feel?
I think you're a completely different person if you're named Harrison.
Really?
I think you're.
I've always wondered about this like wild multiverse.
You're
effect.
so vastly different if you're named Harrison.
Whoa.
I mean, this gets into a big question of nominative determinism and whether or not you think that like what your name is affects your personality. Yeah. Or is it just that like the kind of parents who would name you X are the kind of parents who would raise you
that also raise you to be bad?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think if your name is Harrison, you're going by Harry.
Wow, really? That seems bad. I don't want to do that.
I think you're better as a Preston than as a Harry.
Oh,
I don't think you're a Harrison. I think you would probably go by Harry, and that would be worse. So I think you're. If
it helps, the middle name is James, Harrison James or Preston James. In that context, I like
James
Harrison
still
better. Really?
Well, I mean, it does make you sound more like a 19th century, like a failed vice presidential candidate.
I don't understand what's wrong with that. That's my whole
nothing.
Shtick.
That's
great.
I mean, that's what I'm going for with my kids' names one day.
I think you'd have a much more dour demeanor if you were named Harrison. You'd be much less fun. You'd be much less fun. You basically have no sense of humor. You'd be very serious all the time and have no fun. We would never do this podcast if you were named Harrison.
Think about what we could be doing with our lives right now if your asshole parents hadn't named you Preston.
Hey, Gary and Janice are delights. Okay, they did the right thing. They made the right choice. Ultimately, they picked the right name for you.
I also have a near miss name multiversal doppelganger thing, but I don't know. I don't know if it would have made a difference. But you tell me. My mom came out of the gate real strong. I think she was maybe just shifting the Overton window to try to then like get to Patrick because like my mom is like super Irish. She came out of the gates with Eamon. And my dad had to like talk her down to Patrick.
How is Eamon spelled? Like A-I-M-A-M-A-N?
Yes.
E-A-M-O-N?
Oh, that would be like the super Irish.
That's I know an Amen, and that's
maybe two N's even.
Could have been like 6 N's.
Yeah.
This is another thing I think about this draft. I'm having an impossible time separating that name from the Eamon I know, who is complete garbage and who I hate and who actively makes my life worse. So like, I think you would have been worse, but I don't know. That seems like it's being colored.
The Harrison that I know tried to bring a gun through security at the airport once.
Wow,
so,
that's a totally normal thing to do.
Yeah.
I don't know for Pat. I think Pat was destined to be Pat regardless of what he was named. So I think he would probably be the same. But I
would have gotten nicknamed Pat even if I was Eamon somehow.
No. I just think it would have been exactly the same. But your shtick would have grown much more tiresome. You have a much thinner, you have a much shorter rope if you're named Eamon rather than
I think I'm maybe initially more pleasant, or initially people are like because it's something that's like
you've had to dial it in a little bit because know your leash is shorter, but it's still your core to like go push it, and people are just like much less patient with an Eamon than a Pat, I think.
And I think you introduce yourself to people at the bar as socially liberal, fiscally conservative.
I think that's probably true. All right, I'm glad I don't really have the only other name that was like bandied about for me was Guy Jr. My dad's name is Guy.
but that was like very quickly shut down. That was
I Junior is too. There's too much going on with that.
And
it's not like an NPC.
I wouldn't call Junior, and like just my parents didn't want that, so like it was just like thrown out there. There weren't ever any really like neck close calls, for me. That would be, I would equate to those two. That was just one that I know was like thrown out as when they were spitballing. Okay, let's get back to breaking this draft down, because I think we can all agree it was the weirdest, wildest draft we've ever done. And I know we've said that about a lot of drafts, but I think this one takes the cake, at least at this point. I'm excited to see how we break the record in the future. I do want to ask, what was the worst pick of the draft? It didn't feel at the time like there were any bad picks, but I'm curious.
These are all going to be impossible questions, because there is no way to measure this.
This is why the Twitter vote's going to be so interesting. People are coming in with like no preconceived notions about this.
I will say I was surprised by Paisley being first off the board. I did have it on my list, and some of the names taken were not, but I feel like I could envision a Paisley that isn't the worst human being.
And you know what? I think it's a Southern name, Dan. I think we've come across Paisleys in our life. I didn't have Paisley on my list at all, and I think it's for that same reason, that like I know not anymore, but I've met too many of them to like really associate it with an automatically just terrible person.
The reason I like Paisley a lot, other than again how horrible of a name it is, because it's named after the pattern on a tie of
But well, to be clear,
middle manager.
Paisley does not have to be on a tie. Paisley's the pattern, but you probably most frequently see it on a tie.
Most commonly associated with ties.
Is because it's like a plausible name, so like you don't feel that bad for a person named Paisley.
Interesting.
You're just sort of like, I bet you just suck. Like your name's not so wild that you've had to like, you probably like dealt with it like growing up and like got to the other side. Like it's normal enough while still just.
See this is, and maybe Preston's right. Maybe this is a Southern thing, because I think my vision of a Paisley is like a kind of sweet blonde girl whose parents kind of suck, but she was able to like break free from like her very religious upbringing and to be kind of like a free spirit modern hippie type. That's kind of what I envision with a Paisley.
So I'm having a revelation right now in my memory that in elementary school I met a Paisley who had a sibling named Preston. So I think indirectly Pat has drafted Preston, which I don't feel great about, or at least he drafted the kind of people.
I'm not a numbers guy. I topped out at high school math, but walk me through the calculus you did to get there.
Listen, okay. A squared plus B squared equals C squared.
Sure.
Paisley plus Preston equals parents that name them that. You draft Paisley because parents bad. Parents bad. Parents must name Preston bad because parents bad.
You did. The formula checks out.
Yeah.
Actually,
that's a proof.
That is.
I worked it all through.
I asked for calculus and that was more geometry, but like, yeah, sure.
Yeah. I buy it. I buy the logic now.
I think I like the way it fits with the full complement of names. But I'm fine with it being the worst pick in the draft, because this is just madness and there's no.
That's true.
There's no.
This is the time to break the rules.
I guess for my worst pick, this is not a worst pick. This is more of a just like, actually, if you think about it. Which, okay, we all agree that like X ash to mouth or whatever the Elon Musk baby name is bad.
Yeah. Sorry, that phrase you just said was not good.
but this is not Elon Musk's family, right? This is a different family. Like it's not Elon Musk and Grimes' kid. So in a way, doesn't it kind of rule that you would troll Elon Musk by naming your kid? He's like, I have to come up with the most unique name possible, a name no one else would have.
Interesting.
So in a way, I mean, is it a kind of horrifying thing to do to a human life? Sure. But in a way, it's also kind of like a great troll of Elon Musk.
The question here though is like, when in relation to the current, as far as we know, the only X Ash A12, when in relation to that happening, is this person named? Because if it's before, then it is an ungodly own, obviously. But if you do it after, then it feels like you're probably just some massive Elon Musk fanboy. And that might make you more insufferable and more obnoxious.
No, I'm saying after. I'm saying after is better because it's like,
I don't know.
It's like,
what if you
come up
do
with the most unique name possible, and then I just it's like copying an NFT. You know what I mean?
Oh, I screenshotted it.
Right.
I screenshotted your baby name, Elon Musk.
Exactly.
What if you do X-A13?
Oh, okay. That is the actual answer.
Can I change it?
No, because that's not. It's not a celebrity name at that point.
It's not the name.
I do. Well, I'm glad you brought this name up though, Pat, because they had a second kid via surrogate that I had not heard about until doing research for this. I don't know how this first name is pronounced. I'm gonna guess Exa, like what? Eva, but with an X rather than a V. EXA, and then Dark, and then Sidrael. Sidrael. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly.
I don't want to spend any more time of my life thinking about Musk baby.
I don't either. The thing I need to discuss. So apparently they refer to the first child as X because, of course, of X-A12. They call the second child Y. There is not a single Y in that child's name.
I'm sure it's some inside joke that is very hilarious.
So
Elon Musk and Grimes.
I'm seeing spellings of it where it also has the AE combined symbol. In Sidrael.
Sidrael.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But there's no Y.
It doesn't appear that way.
I agree with Pat, though. I don't want to talk about Elon Musk anymore for the rest of my life. He makes me want to throw up. But I had to bring that up because that was truly insane to me, that it would be called Y when there's not a single Y in their name. Okay, I think this is the much more fun question for this part of the show. What were the names that you wanted to take and you just ran out of room? I think you guys both expressed concern. I think Preston maybe more so than Pat, that we would run out of names here and kind of have to take people that we actually know. I could have gone for so many more rounds and not had that concern at all. There were so many more names that were worthy of being picked. So I'm curious to hear what you guys had on your lists that you know, because we only take 15 names in this draft. What were some more that you wanted to take but ran out?
I'll start with the one I thought Preston was going to take when he said Genesis.
Yes.
Which was Messiah.
Wow. That would have been such a good compliment to King too.
Oh, that's much better.
Yeah.
So I think I would have dropped Axel for Messiah and done Genesis, Messiah, King, and Legend.
Axel Xander is great, and I'm glad it's a thing.
I do love Axel Xander.
I'm gonna wake up in the middle of the night 20 years from now, and just the name Axel Xander will be in my head.
Whenever,
like, wow, R.I.P. Preston.
Drafted merch idea. Just stickers that say, "Hi, my name is Axel Xander."
I like it.
When are you gonna start cranking out merch?
When we stop being lazy. It's a chore, you know. It's a chore, and we'll do it eventually.
I gotta hand stitch every little logo.
Look, I have concerts, I have shows to go to, and I need to wear cool stuff to them that isn't an apparel of the band or performer I'm seeing.
Are you gonna be our what do you call it? Like a street team? You're gonna be our drafted community street team.
Absolutely.
Like a community influencer kind of thing.
Right.
No, we do need to make merch because I do feel like people actually want it and will buy it. And we might actually make a little bit of money for once.
Yeah.
Just a couple other names here. So the other celebrity baby name that I think ultimately wouldn't have fit in with my obnoxious family portrait as well is Kevin Smith's daughter's name.
Harley Quinn.
Harley Quinn.
I kind of like that though, because she's just Harley. Quinn is her middle name.
Oh, okay. I thought it was first name Harley Quinn.
No.
Okay.
I mean, it's everywhere I saw it as Harley Space Quinn. So I'm assuming it's first name, middle name.
But like Emma Jean can be one name.
I'm assuming, and I really think it's Harley. It's just Harley, and then middle name Quinn.
Still fucked up and weird to name a kid Harley Quinn.
It is a little weird.
Like I'm naming my daughter this like very like hypersexualized,
sexified,
right? Yeah. Like, anyways.
Okay, I had a couple.
Yeah,
I want to run through my couple here.
Let's hear 'em.
Riker.
That's
like the island, I'm assuming.
Canceled.
Big time.
The doctor pulls your baby out and just yells, "You're canceled."
Riley.
Like the girl from Inside Out.
Yes. And if I was thinking I would get both Riley and Everly.
Everly was on my
Everly
list.
is
Riley,
truly
I think, is a
wild.
completely fine name, personally.
I kind of like Riley.
Yeah.
I think if it's spelled right, this is Ryleigh.
Oh,
Riley.
Okay.
Sorry, I should have clarified.
Yeah.
I should have clarified. But I
Very
actually
good.
do kind of like Riley as a regular spell.
Yeah,
name.
just a good old fashioned salt of the earth Riley.
Yes.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you for clarifying.
I had River, which seems kind of
Like it's
I
too
don't know.
soon after River Phoenix died. Right?
It's just
come on.
Yeah, he's gonna be like a overbearing worship leader or something. I have Sebastian.
Yeah.
And I have
That's a great example of a name that's not crazy, but you just hate.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which I think we underpopulated our list with those a little bit. We were really swinging for the fences here, which fair enough, because like there's so
Going
many
wild.
options. You're just trying to grab the like brightest, shiniest ones you
Right.
can find. But Sebastian, I think, would have low key been a really good one because yeah.
And then Bo is my last one.
I can
Just
see
because
that
I've never
on my
really
list.
met a Bo I liked. Yeah.
Yeah. That's fair.
I've met quite a few.
Some for me, I had Hudson. I think like the last name as a first name is just really
Good dog name,
something
though.
you should do.
Good dog name.
I could see it for a dog.
Like a chocolate lab.
That is a good dog name.
So that was like in my, like my Declan slot, which I think was kind of like my, you could see it as a feasible name, but you're just never going to like a person with that name.
Mhm.
So I think Hudson was like a contender for me in that slot. Wyatt was another. Don't think I mean I just don't like the name Wyatt. It just feels forced to have a Y in there. And then
It's not the 1870s anymore. You know what I mean? Like you're naming your kid Wyatt.
Grow
now.
up.
It's just kind of like grow up. Quite frankly, ma'am, I'm gonna need you to grow up.
Thank you, Preston, for expressing my sentiments so eloquently. And then for a girl's name, I could not believe this one as high as it was. 32nd most popular name for girls last year, Nova.
Yeah,
Pretty
I
bad.
had it on my list
It's
too. I
bad.
don't like it.
Pretty
it's
bad.
bad.
Why do you think-
It's approaching good, but it
Right.
falls short.
This
way
is my
much.
struggle. It's like
Yeah,
I can
yeah.
see what you were trying to do here, but it didn't work. And I'm
Why do
sorry
you think
to
it's
say.
so? What's making Nova so popular? How
I
is
don't
this
know.
the 32nd most popular girl's name?
Because it sounds futuristic while also being rooted in like a suffix that we're familiar with.
There you go.
I was thinking maybe there was like a Marvel connection, like Nova Prime and all of that.
I don't know.
I don't think so. I
That
don't know
was
why
the-
you would pick
that was the
that
only thing I
as
figured.
if you were.
That's the only
connected
thing I
to
could figure.
Marvel.
What is that?
It's
There's
like,
a lot of like normal
Say
things.
for me.
you could pick.
in Guardians of the Galaxy. Isn't that like they're all called Nova Corps?
Right, Nova Corps, but like, it's just that'd be a weird choice.
I mean, I
Very
agree,
weird
but it's
choice.
literally the only thing in like
I'm gonna name my
popular
baby
culture
Groot.
that I could think of. It's the only thing in modern culture that I could think of, because people aren't watching the show.
Preston, what do you think about
anymore.
Groot Thompson?
It's good.
You have something there.
It's a strong, earthy,
And then
like my
second
word
child?
is oak kind of name.
second younger child is a little more rambunctious. Rocket Thompson.
No, you lost me.
Actually, Rocket Thompson does sound like a second baseman from like a
But-
1913 baseball team.
It needs to be his nickname, though. You have to give him a name
Right.
that will lead to nickname Rocket.
What if the nickname, like the thing you have in quotes in the middle, was the more conventional? So if it was Rocket Steve Thompson, and you just provide a lot of flexibility with the direction they want to take their life.
Do you think as a parent you're obligated to try to give your kid a good nickname early in life?
No, I think you should not. I think parents should not give a nickname to their kids, because then they get stuck with the nickname they get when they're like 3 or 4 years old, and I think that's the opposite of what you want. I don't think you want someone to be like laden with a name. I think that's too much for the kid.
My dad and brother started calling me Stone at 12, and I felt like 12 was the appropriate time if they
Why?
were going to choose something.
Oh,
like
because
that.
Preston.
Preston,
Like
yeah,
Preston.
yeah.
And then college teammates called me that and stuff like that.
Did your family pronounce your name Preston?
Yeah, isn't that how everybody does it?
No one drinks like Preston.
Like Preston. No one thinks like Preston.
Wow, different universe.
That's a karaoke moment
Different
waiting to
reality.
happen.
Who's the LeFew of your life? That's what I.
Dan.
Obviously.
Really, Dan.
Why did you even need to
I
ask
don't know why that was the question.
Yeah. I mean, it was right there, Pat.
I mean, you are from Georgia and went to school in Alabama, so it is plausible that you use antlers in all of your decorating.
It is true. If
Right?
I could widen my camera right now, you would see there's a 10-point buck right
Yeah.
to my right. Mm-hmm.
Oh God. I definitely wouldn't be able to do this podcast with you if you had antlers in your room. That would be worse than being named Harrison, I think.
I'm gonna slowly turn the camera so you don't ever see that.
I've been in that room. You can't pull
Yeah, that's a
that
good
on me.
point. I take him down when you come over.
All right. I think that's all the discussion we have. So now we have the final question. Who drafted the most obnoxious family?
We all did, gang. We all did.
The beauty of it. I think we're all winners.
You gotta pick the creme de la creme. Who was the absolute most insufferable?
I'm gonna do something I rarely do here. I'm not being hyperbolic when I think the first 3 picks on Daniel's team are the best 3 picks of any draft we've ever done. The best triplet to exist
Yeah.
in our show's history. It's so good that I have to pick his team. It would just be completely disingenuous to not. So appreciate everybody who supports my rambunctious group of Legend, King, Genesis, Axel, XH, H12, and Xander. But just Jackson, and Braxton is the beginnings of a starting lineup for a Little League baseball team. And I want to see it fill out.
Yeah. Pat, what do you think?
I kind of want to just refuse to choose. Given the nature of the exercise.
You have to pick.
Boy. I mean, I like my team a lot. I like Daniel's. Like the Daniel's front 3 are just amazing.
So good.
You know, I think it falls off a little bit in the back
I mean,
half.
Hard not to fall off after that start.
Right. But you know, like Maverick, I think Maverick better again as like the shitty finance bro patriarch, but I see it. Cadence, I'm actually kind of like, let T-Pain do what he wants.
Yeah, okay, but
True.
again, you said this with Preston's. Okay, it's
That's
not
true.
T-Pain's kid.
Right.
This is
that's
sibling
fair.
of Jackson and Braxton Cadence.
Yeah. And then Declan, I think you could have done better than Declan with that last
Yeah,
pick.
I could have. I just I didn't know what the obvious choice was. I panicked and didn't want to think about it for too long.
But Preston, if you had somehow, can we fuse Alexander or can we fuse Xander and Axel into one name?
Axel
Xander. I'm not gonna pick my own team because that's low class and trashy.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I do think that Dan. I think man, this is. My brain is short circuiting trying to extract meaning from what we did here today.
Yeah.
But I think ultimately I'm gonna go. If I'm looking at these families, it's a portrait. I see the names. I'm picturing them. I think it's Daniel's. I think it's Daniel's. Yeah.
This is going to be a drafted first, then I think, where we've had a unanimous consensus.
Yeah. Well, I won't pick my own as well. I am disappointed with the Declan pick. I wanted something kind of normal. And I didn't want to force Axel to get the X, and there just weren't really any good X names left. So I just didn't know.
Xander.
I did not. Well, yeah, we hadn't coined that yet, though. You know, we hadn't coined Axel Xander. So
Can we make Axel Xander like the Krampus of this show? And it's so
no! If you say his name 3 times, he comes out
weird.
He comes out and he tries to sell you an ape NFT. Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, that's now canon. I would like to think that I built up such a big lead through my first 3, 4, 5 picks that it didn't matter how I closed. I would like to believe that. To me, again, the combo pick was so valuable for these two. It made me laugh the hardest during the draft, and that was Easton and Weston by Pat. It very much evoked Jackson Braxton energy to me. So I think I'd take Pat's. I think the problem Preston's team runs into is it's so all over the place that you kind of like convince yourself that some of the names are actually good. Because some names are like just so like scatter plot. They're like,
that you're like,
Genesis is kind of a good
Genesis
name because I'm
nice.
seeing I'm seeing it in comparison to X Ash A12.
Yeah, when you're in this family, Genesis is probably the best you could do.
Yeah, and I kind of like Axel as a name, especially short for Axel Xander. So yeah, I think I go Pat's over Preston's personally. But again, I there's not a family here that I would not hate.
Right.
I think we all accomplished.
That's good.
And that's the important
we all accomplished
takeaway.
the mission.
That's the important takeaway from this show is learning how to hate.
It doesn't cost anything to be hateful.
It does not a dime.
That's the drafted tag right there.
Wait, before we go, can I just kind of quick fire off the dome, spit some baby names at you guys and see
please.
how you're feeling? All right, Juniper.
That's some Gone with the Wind stuff, man.
That's
No, thank you.
good. It would have been good.
Feral.
How spelled?
Spell it.
Why did I ask how it's spelled that way?
How spelled? Farr.
What has this draft done to my brain? Oh my god.
How spell? How spell Pharrell?
How spelled?
Farrell. Like Colin Farrell's last name, but a first name for a person.
Yeah, it's bad. So I think Juniper is worse of the two.
Okay,
I agree.
This is
I
good.
agree.
This is good feedback. All right, Benson. First name.
Benson is awful. Benson is really awful. That's the best / worst so far.
Oh, it's really bad.
Are there more?
There can be.
No.
I can do this all day.
Power rankings for me: Benson, Juniper, Farrell. That's how I'm ranking the three. Preston, what do you think?
Yeah, well, I think Pat was offering the suggestions for his own children's names, so I think he's gonna have to
these
go
were
back
ones
to the drawing
I
board.
genuinely was like, are these good? Are these good?
I think the
names?
answer is no.
Never name any of your children any of those names.
With the
Okay.
kindness of our hearts, I think these are all a no.
All right, that's good info.
Yeah.
Glad we could help. Pat, thank you so much for helping us by coming on this show. It is always fucking insane having you on, but it is always an absolute delight.
Thank you.
I mean, listen, we reserve you for the shows that we don't think are going to go very well because we know they'll find their way.
Pat did text us this jokingly, and I was like, Pat could actually make it work. And hopefully this episode does end up being good. We all laugh very hard, so hopefully you guys do as well. Pat is at 100% the only person we could bring on for this draft.
That's true.
Please say that at my funeral. Oh,
Will
really?
do.
I think that will well received.
Your mother, if she's still alive at your funeral, would love to hear that, I'm sure.
Yeah.
He was truly insane. That's what we put on the gravestone.
Fucking insane, the exact quote. Pat, thanks so much, man. Why don't you share with how the people can follow your stuff, man?
Well, if you want to follow my stuff,
just a little insider business term there, you know.
you can
that's how they say it.
If you want to follow my stuff, you tie your left shoelace with your right shoelace together and you say Axel Xander, Axel Xander, Axel Xander.
Oh God, he's
while
here.
Spinning around.
No, it doesn't have any inherent value. It's just a picture. Stop trying to sell me your ape NFT.
I co-host the In the Field podcast with Tad Whistle, who is another guest on this program. And you can check us out there. It's nominally about Ultimate Frisbee. But at this
Sometimes.
point, like Tad's pretty fully checked out on the Frisbee part. So like
Yeah.
it's
I think it's more
mostly-
Godfather than it is Frisbee at this point.
Yeah. So yeah, we have fun over there. Follow us at Sin the Fields on Twitter. That's about it. I don't have too much else going on in life. So
I hear that.
you know.
Yeah, please do go check out This in the Fields, boys. It is there is some Frisbee focus, but much more of a culture, just comedy podcast than anything else with a slight Frisbee lens. And everyone listens to this goddamn podcast is a Frisbee player anyway. So go check out.
Can I make a quick plug?
Sure, please.
Actually, everybody should go watch the movie Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yes, seconded.
If you haven't yet, that's way more
Seconded.
important than Sin the Fields. I just saw that recently. Is that
Really
like the
good.
best movie you've ever seen?
No, but it's really good. Best movie I've seen in a long time. Best movie I've seen in a really long
Go
time.
in a theater, bring
I'm so
a
excited to go see
K95 if you
Oh, you haven't
need
seen it yet,
to.
Preston?
Like
No.
Preston. Oh my God, do it.
All right,
I'm so
I
excited.
don't want to overhype it then, because that is like
No,
the
I-
best way to
I-
ruin a movie for someone. But
All the people I trust on this kind of thing have told me it's great, and therefore I have no idea who's in it, what it's about, what the whole deal is, because I know I'm gonna go see it. So like
that's how you
I'm
need to
cool.
see it. That's how
Yeah,
you need to
I'm
see
good.
it.
Not to
Don't-
pat
don't
ourselves on the
look
back
anything
too
up.
much, but the energy of this podcast is not entirely dissimilar from
that's concerning.
some
That's-
elements of this movie.
That's far too high praise for the podcast. Oh yeah, great movie.
I meant the drafted
check it out.
podcast. I meant the drafted, not this one in particular, but like
Oh,
the-
just in general.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
still
yeah.
think it's way too much, but we appreciate that. So please do go check out Pat, in addition to seeing Everything Everywhere All at Once. Of course, you guys got to go vote on Twitter to let us know which family is the most obnoxious, right? Is that just the worst? You know, who has the
Yeah.
worst
Take
children names,
worst.
basically?
obnoxious is the title.
Yeah.
Is the term we initially
Yeah,
agreed
most
on.
obnoxious, most
Yeah,
obnoxious.
yeah.
And then, of course, let us know, chime in with your awful baby names in the Discord as well.
Not the real ones.
If
Not
you have
real
some- if you-
babies.
If you do, I mean, if they're your real baby names
Oh
and
my
they're
God.
Are
bad,
you
share
fucked
'em.
up because you have a weird name? You may be entitled to compensation.
Are you a Braxton?
You
Hit us
a
up.
My
Braxton?
money and I need it now.
But yeah, we always love hanging out with you guys in the Discord as well. If you want to support us on Patreon. That really means a whole lot to us and really helps us make the show.
It's what? It's like $3 a month?
$3 minimum, and you get unedited versions of the shows. You're going to be getting some free like Patreon only shows as well. So
what's the dumbest thing you've spent $3 on this month, both of you?
Oh God, that's a really good question. I don't know.
Boy, I don't
It's
know.
I guarantee you that a drafted subscription is a more valuable use of $3
Almost certainly.
than whatever the answer to that
Almost
question
certainly.
is.
Yeah, and even if you only do it for like 1 month, that's totally fine. I mean, every little bit helps. So we would super appreciate it. You also get a commercial-free and unedited version of the show. So this episode, if you're listening on Patreon, is probably like 2.5 hours long. But yeah, thanks so much to all of our Patreon people already. We love you guys a lot. I mean, we love everyone who listens and participates in the show. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, that's all we have this week for Preston and myself. We will talk to you all next week.
Well, that was a thing. That was a thing we did that happened.
That's
A little bit of Paisley in my life, a little bit of Oakland on my mind, a little bit of Cairo up my ass.